Hey, what's up, everybody? Rich Teller from Bitjoin.me. So I just want to give you a wrap up of the third month with the Making an Influencer experiment. So a quick run through some of the highlights that happened in the month of October. Started out with a donation from someone via Twitter. There's a tipping bot for something called Digibytes. So someone sent over a Digibyte on a tweet, so I guess they liked it, which was encouraging, I guess. And then basically spent quite a bit of time in Jersey, UK, and over there I experimented by taking the character outdoors and into the real world, with mixed results in my opinion. Tried spinning a little bit of fake news about how Jersey bus service accepted Bitcoin, etc., etc. Had a bit of a kickback on Reddit regarding those pieces of content, obviously because it was bullshit. And of course, there is a law online. If you provide the best way to get the right answer is to provide the wrong one. And people climbed over themselves in the comments there to rectify the fact that it's bullshit. Anyway, I thought it was still quite useful to experiment out there a little bit in the real world with this character. I'm not sure if I'll continue with that, but we'll see. He's found like a niche sort of slot within the crypto world, and it's going to be more hinged on the philosophy. Obviously, this is where I get a lot of my interests drawn from, the ideologies and the people building dapps in this space and what they believe the blockchain technology has in hold for, or has in store for mankind, if you like. So the content in the future is going to be more geared towards the philosophy associated, as opposed to the tech, which is already extensively covered in YouTube, on YouTube videos and online in general. I posted to a few different channels, tried a few things in 4chan. I didn't really follow up. Not sure I want to spend that much time there, to be honest. Put something out on Periscope, a live stream, but again, I don't really feel like I want to go down that road, although most crypto influencers are doing regular live streaming, so perhaps it's something I'll adapt to. I've started to sort of be more considerate about keywords, especially when it comes to posting new content, and also commenting and driving conversation in other channels, other YouTube channels and other contents, and how those steer the algorithm towards my content towards the right types of people. However, I haven't quite found that bridge yet out to the mainstream, if you like. I'm still kind of stuck in the crypto elite world, but keep experimenting. And of course, he has his scooter coin, which ought to be developed further. I've started identifying similarities within other groups online, so crossovers, cultural crossovers, where the message or the ideologies and philosophies around blockchain technology can sort of be interpreted or shared vision with other groups. And that's like the low-hanging fruit, if you like. So the activist types, the people that are all anti-government or end the Fed, whatever it is, or those people are like probably most easier to resonate the message with. Of course, him being Australian as well is Australians love other Australians, it seems, so that's something that's could be explored further in terms of a cultural crossover. They're a little bit renegade Aussies from my experience, but I thought about how the content could be specific to the three channels. So YouTube would be like the dedicated weekly show, which I still ought to schedule for a specific time once a week to get that sort of predictability for the audience, which I will, now that more analytics are starting to come in, more data, I can actually start to learn a little bit more about the audience, however minute they might be. Twitter feels more like political activism, so content there should like reflect those the sentiment of those types of people that use Twitter. Instagram is your behind-the-scenes reality TV show type content, which I've also been exploring and experimenting with. I've started doing. I mean, there's no shortage of ideas, and I use Trello to manage my backlog of ideas. But it seems like there's a balance there that needs to be drawn, because it's taking a bit of the fun out of the spontaneity. Whereas earlier on, I was like, had an idea, go shoot it, publish it. Now it's kind of like I've got a backlog of ideas that I fit. It's becoming more like a work than play. So I need to refine that and make sure that I keep the fun here, because otherwise I don't need the additional stress, especially considering I'm on parental leave as well. So I need to balance my time. Connected with a YouTube channel called Bitcoin for Beginners. They seemed, I forget how we made that connection now, but I think it was via Telegram. Anyway, they were looking to do a collaboration, but of course they wanted to be paid because they have 30k subscribers or whatever. I walked away from that because I'm not paying any, not planning to pay for those kind of things. I want to be invited on for, I want him to be invited on for the pure fact that he is who he is. Also there was a tweet by Mcafee on Twitter inviting people to come and invite him onto their show, basically to interview them. I was like, fuck it, why not give it a try? Contacted them, they came back, said, yeah, John is willing to be on your show. Which dates work for you? Blah, blah, blah. I said, brilliant, but I want to be clear with you guys that I'll be conducting the interview as Bitman 360, which is a character that I'm developing. Unfortunately, the line went dead then. So they were not interested to be interviewed by this character, it seems. Which is unfortunate, because could have provided some real traction for the character. I don't know. Also started speaking to whom I assume is Trace Mayer via Instagram. We had a bit of back and forth, but the way that the text was constructed, the English was suggested that this guy's his English was not his first language. So, but we had a good back and forth, and I quite like Trace Mayer. He's been around for a while, and he seems like a no BS guy, but I didn't pursue that further anyway. I introduced a couple of VC characters this month as well. There was an Englishman and an Italianman. Me being half English and half Italian, I feel like I felt like I could have a crack at that, and I wanted to also highlight those kind of conversations where venture capitalists are talking to crypto startups, and try to have some of those conversations out in the public realm where they're usually conducted behind hidden doors, whilst having fun with it, of course, as well. Mixed results. I didn't get any feedback on those videos, but I had fun making them and exploring other characters as well. So spending a lot of time on Twitter, of course. I keep coming to this realization that an entire generation has been born around crypto trading, basically, and the conversations that are being had, it's clearly young people who are getting caught up in various trading groups and pool mining scams and what have you, and it's just kind of sad to see those conversations being had. Although people got to make their mistakes, especially younger people. They'll go out there, they'll be curious, and they'll make their mistakes, but hopefully they won't get bankrupted in the process. And a lot of that's coming off the back of the ICO craze that never really, it may have petered out in the mainstream media, but it's left a string of people behind it who are still sort of wrapped up to some extent in that whole dream of getting rich pumping shit coins, basically. Instagram is the account's getting increasingly hit by scams. Someone seems to have turned the volume up, or I don't know. But the scams are increasing, like DMs, to the account. I had an experiment with a cover of Ape Man by the Kinks, so I thought an idea of bridging the gap between crypto fanatics and people that love music was to do a cover, and Bitman by Bitman 360 is the cover of the Ape. I recommend you go and have a look. It's a karaoke edition. Again, I had a bit of fun with it, just exploring potential other avenues to like channels to reach other audiences, but didn't put a lot of effort into the marketing of that video or pumping it out there. But it feels like a bit of a legacy piece, so it will be around for many, many moons. You never know, it might get picked up in the near future. Towards the end of the month, I got another tip via something called Bottlepay. Somebody sent 100 Satoshis on a tweet, so they liked it, I guess, or maybe it was a piece of content. I don't recall now. So there's a lot more options when it comes to tipping services on social. I understand that these Bottlepays are available on Instagram and Reddit and what have you as well. So I remember a flashback 4 years ago when Reddit had something similar, but I don't know, it just disappeared. There was a bunch of social tipping bots, but either the timing wasn't right, or they weren't. There was the issue, of course, with the scaling and the cost to microtransactions and what have you. But it seems they might have some services have ironed those details out, and it's likely side chains or conducted off chain and what have you. And also broke through 500 followers on Twitter, which was a feat, I guess. Month 4, next diary entry, I should have, now I have, like I said, some analytics to actually review. I'll start to do a segment on the numbers and the growth, and learning a little bit more about where the engagement's coming from and what triggers the algorithm, basically. So tune in. I hope you are enjoying this journey with me, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen and watch. Until next month. Cheers.